Good morning, everyone. This is Teacher Roxanne, and welcome to our grammar class. Let us have Unit 6, Week 3, together with Formal and Informal Style. Authors use different styles of writing depending on their audience and purpose. In academic writing, for example, most authors use formal style. In contrast, the writer of an article, a blog, or even a story may choose to use informal style. Let us have comparisons between formal and informal style. Formal style sounds scholarly. Here is an example. In philosophical terms, I am a pessimist, while in informal style, it sounds like spoken conversation. So instead of saying in philosophical terms, I am a pessimist, I can say, I guess I am a negative thinker, especially when I am talking to someone. Next, a formal style includes long sentences. Here's an example. Argumentative and expository essays were included in the material and details have been essentially provided. In this sentence, it was constructed as compound sentence, while in informal style, it may include short sentences or sentence fragments. Here's an example. Many kinds of essays are given or details provided. So the first given example is a short sentence while the second one is a sentence fragment. A formal style does not include contractions. Remember, contractions are words that are combined together. And a formal style spells out abbreviation. It may include abbreviation, but it must be spelled out. Here is an example. WHO, or World Health Organization, introduced a new cure to the disease last February 18, 2020. As you can notice, we included the meaning of WHO, which is World Health Organization. While in informal style, it may include contractions and abbreviation. Here's an example. I've watched a news telling that WHO found a cure for the disease. Here, we had the contraction I've coming from I and have. We also have WHO, or the abbreviation for World Health Organization. Moreover, a formal style is usually written in third-person point of view. Here's an example. The Prime Minister, baffled as press asked him questions about current economical status. In this sentence, our speaker is not included in the sentence or in the situation given. While in informal style, it can be written in first, second, and third person point of view. An example is, we asked questions to the Prime Minister which he couldn't answer immediately. As you can notice, we use the pronoun we, which means we are using first person point of view, which is referring to the press. Last but not the least, a formal style may explain complex ideas. Here's an example sentence. The quantity that is demanded will be the amount of that product that people are willing to purchase at a certain price. Now, a formal style is usually used to explain something in science, geography, economy, and more concepts or complex concepts. While in informal style, it may use idioms or slang. An example is, that's lit. Lit is used to describe something impressive. So instead of saying impressive, we use lit. And it's usually used by millennials. And this is an example of slang. Let me give you an example of formal style coming from the story that we have read. After less than a minute, when the king's daughter had only gone a little way, the runner was already out of sight. In no time at all, he reached the spring, filled his jug, and turned around. Halfway back, though, he felt like taking a nap. So he lay down and closed his eyes, using for a pillow a horse's skull he found lying on the ground. So he wouldn't feel too comfortable. He didn't want to sleep too long and lose the race. Now, let us have informal style. So, he cudgeled his brains and finally thought he had found a way of getting rid of them. He said to the soldier, "Look, you're a man of the world. Let's be straight with each other. If I give you some gold, will you give up the princess and clear off?" Hopefully, you understand the differences between informal and formal style. This time, I want you to open your workbook on page 261 and you can also go directly to Alpha website. Let us do the first activity. Read these excerpts from 6 who made their way in the world. Review the underlined words that characterize a particular style. Identify whether each example is written in a formal or informal style. So you're going to do it one by one. Let us have letter A. "Well, would you look at that?" said the soldier. "I've never seen the like. What can be turning those sails?" So, let us have the first underlined sentence. "Well, would you look at that?" Is it first person, second person, or third person point of view? How about the second one? "I've never seen the like." We used I've. So if we have this kind of features, what do you think is that? A formal or informal style? How about letter B? "There was once a man who could turn his hand to anything. He had fought in the war and conducted himself bravely. But when the war came to an end, he was sent on his way with 3 pennies and nothing more." What do you think are these phrases? Formal or informal style? Please write down your answer. On the same page, you're going to read the given excerpts. Tell whether each example is written in a formal or informal style. Then explain your answer by citing evidence from the excerpt. Let us have letter A. "You look as if you've made yourself comfortable," said the soldier. "Having a rest, are you?" As you can notice, in letter A, we're having a dialogue. How about letter B? "Meanwhile, the king's daughter, who was much better at running than common people, had reached the spring. She filled her jug and set off at once on the return lap. And soon she came across her opponent lying fast asleep." Okay, what do you think is this? Is it formal or informal style? As you can notice in letter B, we used the pronoun she. What do you think is the point of view that we used here? Lastly, in number 3, you are going to choose one of the 4 excerpts above. If the excerpt is written in a formal style, we write it as informal. If it is written in an informal style, we write it as formal. Again, you are going to choose one of the excerpts coming from the same page. And then, you're going to change it. If it's formal, you're going to change it to informal. If it's formal, then you're going to change it to informal. I hope you can do it very well. And anyway, that will be all for our class. I hope that you're having a good time at home. Stay safe and have a nice day.